Mark Gibson's Human Rights Channel. Accountant with designations CPA, MBA, CMA, ACPA, ASA, Australia. Enjoy learning!
Good morning. I'll continue my discussion on the capital budgeting, but this time we'll discuss about the discounted method, no? So last time we have discussed the cost of capital, net investment, and returns, no? And then we also discussed the payback period, the accounting rate of return, and today I will continue the discussion on the discounted method, no? So let's start with the net present value. So the formula to get your net present value is the present value of cash inflows less present value of cash outflows, no? Last time we've also discussed that the present value of cash outflow is actually your net investment, no? Pero sige, let me explain that to you in detail, no? Sige. So assuming we have an investment of 680,000, sabi natin kailangan natin bumili ng new machine, no, at 680,000. The life of the machine will be is estimated at 5 years, no? So cost of capital is 10%, then net cash inflow of 150,000. So last time we've discussed about the uh, method that do not methods that do not consider time value of money. But this time we are going to discuss about other methods which consider time value of money, no? Pero let's try to define muna ano yung included dito, no? So sabi, 'di ba, in order for us to get to the net present value, it's actually total cash inflow less the investment, no? Pero kung napapansin niyo class, yung value nung cash inflow here, this is future value. And the net investment in here, this is present value. Kung napansin nyo, hindi siya apple to apple, no? So you're deducting one value which is future value and one which is present value. Sige, paano natin na-identify na paano to naging future value? Kasi 'di ba you're just estimating how much will you get out of this investment for the next 5 years, no? Kaya meron ka dyan net cash inflow, no? This is the estimated cash inflow, in this case, uniformly for the next 5 years. So we multiply 150 with 5 years, no? So that's 750,000. Pero hindi natin ngayon na calculate yung tamang value because we're comparing or we're deducting a value from a future value with a present value. Sige, isa pa. Paano natin ngayon ma-calculate yan para maging inline, no? So, we calculate the total cash inflow and express it into present value. So, diyan na natin pag-uusapan ngayon yung present value of one tsaka present value of an annuity. Okay. So, total cash inflow multiplied by the present value factor, that's how you will get the related present value of the cash inflow. So, imagine class, no? Initially pala, ang kinakalculate natin is 1 for future value. Siyempre, ito yung cash inflow that we expect to receive, no, in the next 5 years. So, kailangan lang natin to i-express into its present value. Paano yun? Sabi, cash inflow multiplied by the present value factor. Now, what's the formula to get the present value factor? Earlier today, class, before we start the class, I uploaded the table for the present value of one and present value of an annuity. But let me just share it with you, no. Uh, ano ba itsura niya? Okay. Ito yung isa. Okay. So meron tayo ditong table 1, present value of 1, present value of 1 peso, and present value of 1 received or paid periodically for the next N periods, no? O sige, balik muna ako dun sa illustration ko, no? Kailan ginagamit ang present value of 1? Kailan ginagamit ang present value of an annuity? So class, no? So present value of 1, ito yung sinasabi natin na for the 5th year. So for example, in this illustration, we have 5 years, no? And then present value of 1, if we're just going to get the present value of 1 for the 5th year. Ibig sabihin, ito yung per year ang gamit, no? Then present value of an annuity, this is in cumulative, no? So paano yan? Kaya ninote ko dito for 5 years. Pero kung mapapansin mo class, this is just total, no? So for period 1, syempre it's this one. Pero for period 2, it's a total of the two. So period 1 plus period 2 and so on and so forth, no? So that's how we arrive with 3.79. So that's a total, oops, sorry, should be this one. Total plus period 3. Okay? So ngayon, kailan na ginagamit ang present value of 1 at kailan ginagamit ang present value of an annuity of an annuity? So sabi natin dito, we only use present value of an annuity when the cash flow is uniform. Okay? So net cash inflow in this case is uniform, no? Meaning it's constant at 150,000 per year, no? So that's the example, no? But as you know, it's not really the case, no? Mamaya meron din tayong problem on problem or instance where cash inflow is not uniform, no? So it varies each year. Okay? So kailan naman ginagamit yung present value of 1? So salvage value, di ba, usually we get the salvage value towards the end of the life of the machine. So in this case, mag-assume lang ako dahil walang nakalagay dito. Sabihin natin na in this case, we'll have 25,000 pesos salvage value at the end of 5 years, no? So towards the end of the 5th year, we'll get 25,000 pesos salvage value, no? So in that case, we'll need to use present value of 1. Kasi ito yung pwede mag-express nung future value for the 5th year. Ito is per year, no? So in that case, 0.621. Also, if there's a mention about working capital that will be released towards the end of the life of the asset, we'll also need to use present value of 1. O ngayon class, itong present value table, it can be provided in the problem, that's 1. Or there will be tables provided to you, gaya ng ginawa ko. Or pwede naman natin i-calculate kasi meron naman tayong formula, which is 1 over 1 plus I, where I is a discount rate raised to the power of n. N is number of periods. Pero what I suggest you to do is be familiar with your calculator. Kasi Especially kung scientific calculator yung gamit mo, mas mabilis i-calculate 'to. Pero kung ordinary calculator, turuan ko kayo class ha. So, siyempre dito sa present value, ang 1 plus I natin in this example is 1 plus 0.10, no? So, 1 plus 0.10 raised to the power of n. So, sabi natin, yung n is 5 years, where I is 10%, no? So, 1 plus 0.10, that's 1.10. Tapos, 1.10, key-in nyo dun sa calculator nyo, press nyo yung divide for 2 times, and then yun na, equals. So, mako-compute mo na si 0.909, tapos equals ulit, 8, 0.826 equals ulit, hanggang sa makarating ka dun sa number 5. Nasundan nyo ba yun? Yun lang muna tayo. Yung pag-calculate ng present value factor. Kung ang sabi ko ulit pag ang calculator mo is just an ordinary calculator, hindi yung scientific calculator Ang step is key in mo lang 1.10, 1 syempre yun yung formula, 1 plus I, tapos press mo yung divide twice. So 1.10 tapos divide, then equals. Saka mo makukuha yung present value factors. Nasundan ba yun, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Syempre, kung halimbawa ang calculator mo is scientific calculator, mas madali, no? Kasi may mga functionality yung scientific calculator to provide you this formula. No? So, hindi mo na kailangan mag-press ng equals for, in this case, 5 times, no? Okay? O sige. Para siguro mas ma-appreciate, sampulan natin ng isang problem. Okay? So, ulitin ko net present value. In this example is uniform cash flow, no? So it's actually the present value of cash inflows. Pag cash inflows, ang ginagamit is present value of annuity of 1. Pag salvage value, it's present value of 1. Working capital to be released, it's present value of 1. Less present value of cash outflows, which is actually your net cost of investment. So just this will be your formula to arrive with the net present value of investment, no? So let's have a sample problem, no? So this is on uniform cash flow. Nandito na yung solution pero isa-isahin natin para mas mabilis, no? So now company plans to buy a new machine costing 580,000 excluding freight and installation costs. Ito na-discuss na natin, no? All expenses in relation to the purchase of the new machine will form part of the investment cost, no? So in that case, 580 plus 70 kasi excluding, no? If the new machine is acquired, the company would have to increase its inventory level by 30,000. Okay? The new machine is expected to have a salvage value of 20,000 at the end of the economic life of 5 years, at which time the company's inventory level would be brought back to the original level. The annual after-tax cash inflows from this machine have been estimated at 150,000. Tax rate is 30%. The company desires a minimum of 10% on invested capital. So, well, the requirement is to compute the net present value. So, gawin ko class, kunin ko to para lang mag-focus tayo dun sa calculation natin sa Excel. Problem 1. Okay? Mali. Okay. So, given, ito, 580 yung cost, and then we'll have the 70,000, the freight and installation cost. Also, your working capital, or in this case, additional inventory of 30,000. So total cost of investment is 680,000. Okay? Okay. Then present ko ulit dito. Pero kung pupuntahan mo yung present value of annuity of 1, dun ka sa table. Ito, nilagay ko lang dito isa-isa, pero nandoon din yan sa table. Di ba sa table, present value of 1, 10% daw yung discounted rate or minimum invested capital rate. So 10%, ayun na. So 0.909-826-751-683-621. So ayan, isa-isa ko lang. Then kanina sinabi ko naman, 'di ba, yung present value of an annuity of 1 is just the accumulated, no? So of course, period 1 is the same, and then ina-add lang natin yung values, no? So in that case, 0.909 plus 8.26, 1.735 plus 0.751, so you get 2.486. Pero like I said, provided din yan dun sa table, no? So 10%, sorry, this is okay. Annuity, so we have 0.909, 1.736, 2.487, okay, 3.169 or 117 in this case, and then 3.790 or 3.791. Okay? So hopefully walang question dyan, no? Sa pag-compute or paano mag-arrive dun sa present value of 1, yung present value factors, no? Sabi natin, pag ang cash inflow is uniform, use present value of an annuity. So in this case, 150,000, that's the cash inflow, multiply by 3.790 or 3.791 kung titignan doon sa table, that's 3.791. Okay? And then the salvage value, kasi alalahanin mo, no, ang salvage value, you will just get this, hindi naman yearly, di ba? Makukuha mo lang to towards the end of the life of the machine, no? So in this case, towards the end of the 5th year. So kaya kinukuha natin yung present value of 1, which is 0.621. Similarly with the working capital to be released towards the end of the project or life of the machine. So pagdating lang din ng 5th year, no? So hindi ka naman nagre-release ng working capital ng period 1, 2, 3, 4. Dapat dun ka lang, well, according to the problem, it's towards the end of the life of the machine, no? Or in this case of the project, no? So that's 6.21. So ngayon, meron ka ng mako-compute mo na yung present value of cash inflow, no? So total mo lang to. Well, ginawa ko lang naman is minultiply ko, no? 150,000 times 3.791, so you'll get 568,650. So you have your salvage value and then working capital. Total present value of cash inflow is 599,700 less cost of investment. Ito hindi mo na kailangan i-express to present value kasi remember, ito na yung total cost of investment mo now. So this is already in its present value. So 680,000 deduct from present value of cash inflow. So meron kang 80,300 na net present value. O sige, syempre, okay na, no? Na-calculate na natin. Pero paano bang interpretation nito? So imagine class, you are investing 680,000 pero in return, you'll only get 599,700. So meaning, this is not a good investment, no? Kasi mag-invest ka ng 680,000 and yet, ang makukuha mo lang out of this investment is 599,700. So, if we're going to decide on this project on the basis of net present value. So we'll have to reject this project, no? O sige, question muna. Kung baka may question lang kayo dito sa pag-calculate ng net present value. Or clear na ba paano yung kailan ginagamit ang present value of one, kailan ginagamit ang present value of an annuity?
No questions.
Talaga, ha? Sige. In that case, tuloy ako ngayon sa problem number 2. Sige. Problem number 2. Ito na, uneven cash flow, no? Ngayon na, company is evaluating a capital investment proposal that will require an initial cash investment of 250,000. The project will have a 3-year life. The net after-tax cash flows from the project are expected to be 180,000 the first year, 120 in the second year, and 80 in the third year. Salvage value of 10,000 is expected to be received at the end of the life of the project. Straight-line method will be used to depreciate the project. Income tax rate is 30% and the company's cost of capital is 20%. What is the net present value? O sige, nandito na ulit yung solution pero isa-isahin natin. Punta ako dun sa problem number 2. Kunin ko lang yung problem para focus tayo sa solution. So, what are the given, no? So, meron ka cost of investment amounting to 250,000. Kunin ulit natin yung present value of 1 at saka yung present value of an annuity. So, kung pupuntan lang ako sa table, di ba ang ginamit natin is 20%. Punta ako sa table ng present value of 1, then 20% for 3 years, 0.833, okay? 0.694 and then 5.79. Present value of an annuity, either i-total ko siya or kunin ko na lang din dun sa table. Puntahan ko yung table ng present value of an annuity. So, 20%, 0.833, okay. 1.528, copying ko lang yun, 1.528, and then 2.106. 2.106. Okay? O sige, ngayon isa-isahin natin. Sabi ko kanina, ang present, so in this case, for the third year, no? Ibig sabihin kasi ang take up ng present value of 1 is per year, while yung present value of an annuity, ito yung cumulative, no? So for 3 years. Wala pang ginagawa, class, ha? Binibigay ko pa lang yung mga given, no? Yung given do sa details given from the problem. No? O sige. Next, kunin ulit natin yung formula mo ng net present value. Remember, formula mo ng net present value is net cash inflow but expressed in present value less cost of investment. O, ngayon, isa-isahin natin yung cash inflow, no? So, in this case, hindi siya uniform, no? So, sabi, year 1, net cash inflows is expected to be 180,000, okay? Year 2, 120,000, and then year 3, 80,000. O sige. Ngayon, ano yung gagamitin nating present value factor? Since itong cash inflow for year 1 will be received in year 1, so for the first year, ang kailangan kong gamitin is present value of 1. So that's 0.833. Second year, 0.694 kasi ito naman yung marireceive ko for the second year. And 0.579 for the third year. Tandaan, kanina ginamit natin yung present value of an annuity kasi uniform cash flow at yun yung marireceive natin for years 1 to 5. Kaya ang ginamit natin is yung cumulative, no? So 3.791. So in this case, yung ma-receive nating cash inflow is hindi uniform. So therefore, it varies per year. So in that case, we'll need to use a present value of 1. Okay? So sana clear yan, class, no? And the same, no? So salvage value, kailan nga natin na-receive ang salvage value? Towards the end of the life, no? So in this case, towards the end of year 3. So for the year, for the third year, so that's 0.579. So kung meron kang working capital, the same, ganun din, lagay mo dito. Pero in this case kasi 0, no? 0 multiplied by, anong gagamitin ko sa working capital? Ayun. So it's present value of 1 pa rin, no? Pero 0 nga siya. So present value of cash inflows total is 285,330 less cost of investment, no? 250,000. So you'll arrive with the net present value of 35,330. So kung ito lang yung details na meron, so it's okay to accept or to proceed with the project, no? Because you'll investing 250,000 and yet you're getting 285,330 in return. So net present value of 35,330. Oh, so class, may question ba kayo dito? Kung napansin nyo dito, class, what is mentioned here is dito sa problem, the project will have a 3-year life, no? So yun yung in-expect natin na life din nung machine. That's why it's 3 years. Oh, question. Baka may question kayo dito sa...
Excuse me, sir.
Sige, please.
Yung income tax at saka cost of capital, disregard na lang po yan.
Hindi, ang cost of capital dito is included or considered sa calculation. Kasi ito, kung napansin mo, diba, yung formula natin earlier, present value is 1 plus I. Yung I is the discount rate. So that's the cost of capital. Ito, nag-arrive tayo dito. Ang kinuha natin is at 20%, di ba? Na-gets mo na yan?
Okay.
Okay. Pero tama ka, hindi natin kinoconsider ang income tax rate. Yung 30%. So, disregard yun dito. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome. O, sige. So, kung wala ng question dyan, punta ngayon tayo dun sa profitability index. No? So, profitability index is another way to evaluate a project that also uses discounted cash flow. No? So, in this case, ano lang natin, para mas ma-appreciate na agad, no? Puntahan na agad natin yung problem, no? So, Bentong Corporation gathered the following data on 2 capital investment opportunities. So, may dalawang project, Project 1 and Project 2. Given yung cost of investment, so 270,000 for Project 1 and 480,000 for Project 2. Provided na rin yung present value of cash inflows, discounted at 10%. So, provided na rin yung net present value, life of the project, and then internal rate of return, no? Pero itong internal rate of return, I will still discuss this later, no? Kung para saan yan. The company's required rate of return is 10%, thus a 10% discount rate has been used in the calculation, in the present value calculation for the 2 investment opportunities. Ito class, no, hinighlight ko. Limited funds are available for investments. So the company cannot accept both projects. No? Remember, during our last session, meron nagtanong, bakit hindi na lang yung dalawa? So bakit hindi na lang natin pasukin, hindi na lang tayo mag-invest sa dalawang project? Ito yung sagot. Kasi nga, the company has limited funds. So kailangan nating mamili. Kailangan isa lang. No? So, yun din yung pino-point out ko even before na the reason why we're doing or we're evaluating projects is because number one, we have limited funds. Number two, uh, yun nga, we have a scarce resource, no? So hindi we can't function at 100% and therefore we have to choose between alternatives, no? So in this case, pinapa-evaluate sa atin, ano ba yung mas viable? Ano ba yung mas okay? Project 1 or project 2? So using net present value method, which alternative is more attractive? Ito class, ito lang yung ginawa natin kanina pero in this case, provided na. Ito yung net present value. No? O ngayon, tanong ko lang, no? So yung dalawa, di ba kanina, ang net present value natin is negative. Ang sabi ko, reject. Pero dito sa pangalawang example natin, positive. So sabi ko, accept or proceed with the project. Pero how about this one, no? Project 1 has net present value of 66,140 and project 2 has 87,270. Ngayon, if you're going to choose which one is more attractive using net present value method. So ito lang yung given, no? So, yan yung given, provided na rin yung net present value so hindi na tayo magka-calculate. Ano ngayon yung which one is more attractive? Is it project 1 or project 2 or both? Well, the answer is both. Yun nga lang, we have limited funds available for investment at hindi natin pwedeng piliin yung dalawa. So we have to choose only one. So anong tingin nyo dito? Given the data, ano yung mas attractive or which one should we proceed to invest on? Is it project 1 or project 2? Sino yung sumagot?
Ako po, Judy.
O sige, Judian. O sige nga, bakit 2?
Mas higher po yung net present value.
Okay. Very good, Judian, no? So tama 'yon, no? So dun ka kung ang given lang is itong data and provided yung net present value, that's correct, no? So go to the project that will provide you the highest or the higher net present value. So that's 87,270. Ngayon, hindi kaya umapila si project 1? Sabi niya, well, natural lang na mas mataas yung makukuha mong net present value dyan. Kasi mas mataas yung ini-invest mo. Di ba? So that's a valid point, no, from project 1. That's the reason why we're going to introduce profitability index. Okay. So paano muna yung profitability index, no? It's total present value of cash inflows over total present value of cash outflows. May napansin ba kayo sa formula natin? Paikot-ikot na lang sila, no? So kung na-memorize mo na yung formula nung day 1 pa, pinapaikot-ikot na lang to arrive with another method, no? So in this case, profitability index, no? So puntahan ko yung problem 3, profitability index. So kunin ko lang yung problem para hindi nakakalito. So sabi ni Judian, project 2 kasi mas mataas yung net present value, which is tama, no? Ano nga yung formula mo ulit to get the net present value? Yung kanina lang na pinag-usapan natin, sabi natin present value of cash inflows less present value of outflow or your investment, no? Tama yan, diba? Yan yung pinag-usapan lang natin kanina. So, project 1 and project 2. Diba provided na sa atin yung present value of cash inflows So that's 336,140 and 567,270. And then in this case, provided na rin sa atin yung net investment or yung cost of investment mo. So that's 270,000 and 480,000. So let's just derive the formula. So you have your present value of cash inflow, 336,140 and 567,270 for project 2. Cost of investment, so 270 for project 1 and 480 for project 2. Okay ka dyan? So your profitability index is 1.24 for project 1 and 1.18 for project 2. So ngayon, interpret natin, no? Kasi for profitability index, ito naman ang rule. It should be greater than 1. Paano natin i-interpret ang profitability index? For every 1 peso, this is how much it generates back. So, sa kada piso na ini-invest natin for project for project 1, we are getting 1.24. While in project 2, it's just 1.18. So, in this case, we'll need to go to project 1, no? Because it generates higher profitability index. Okay ba yan, class?
Yes
Okay.
po.
Sige, thank you. So that's profitability index. Kung wala ng question sa profitability index, pupunta na ako dun sa internal rate of return. Ito yung kanina pinag-uusapan natin. Dun sa given, no? Sabi kasi internal rate of return. Pero never pa naman natin na encounter yan. Siyempre, yung discounted rate, na kanina napag-usapan natin yan. This is equivalent to your cost of capital, no? So that's the rate you're going to use to get the present value factors, no? So ano naman yung internal rate of return? Internal rate of return is also known as discounted cash flow rate of return. It's also synonymous with the time-adjusted rate of return. So kahit ano dyan sa tatlo, pag yan ang ginamit, alam mo na agad na we're talking about the internal rate of return. Sige, bago, kunin ko na lang din to. Pero let's discuss first ano muna yung internal rate of return. Ako dito. Sige. Sabi natin, ang internal rate of return, this is when your present value of cash inflow is equivalent to your investment. O sige nga class, pag ang present value of cash inflow is equal to your net investment, how much is your net present value?
0, sir.
0. Very good. No? So that's true using IRR. Okay? Sa tandaan lang ha, using IRR, your present value of cash inflow is equivalent to your net investment. Thus, your net present value is 0. So, sample natin ng problem para mas maintindihan, no? Mimon Drapery Service is investigating the purchase of new machine for the machine for cleaning drapes, no? The machine would cost 260,000 including freight. Yan na, class. Including freight. So, hindi na natin kailangan i-add back pa. Mimon has estimated that the new machine would increase the company's after-tax net cash inflows by 80,000 per year. The machine would have a 5-year useful life and no salvage value. The company desires a minimum return of 10% on invested capital. So, number 1, net present value using the company's desired rate of return. and internal rate of return. O sige. Pero ito, mas kabisado na natin paano mag-compute ng net present value, no? So, sabi natin, uniform ulit. So, yung cash inflow, 80,000 per year. So, in that case, anong gagamitin? Present value. Anong present value? Yung present value of an annuity, no? So, 10%, ganun ulit, punta ulit ako sa table. Kunin ko yung 10%. So, 0.909, 826, 751, 683, and 621, no? And then, punta ulit ako dun sa isa naman, present value of an annuity of 1, 909, 1.736. Kopyahin ko na lang yun. 1.736. 2.487, 3.170, okay, 3.791. So in this case, dahil uniform yung cash flow, we'll use 3.791, which is present value of an annuity, no? Yung cumulative, no? Kasi uniform yung cash flow. Ngayon, meron bang salvage value? Wala. Meron bang working capital? Wala. So, 0. So, in this case, your total net present value is 43,280. So, okay tayo dyan, no? So, that's requirement number 1. Kung yun yung requirement number 1, ang pinapakompute na sa atin ngayon, internal rate of return. Okay? So, sabi natin, sa internal rate of return, ang present value of cash inflow is equal to the cost of investment. Okay? Kasi ang net present value mo is 0. Naalala mo yan, di ba? Yung sabi kanina. So, net present value is 0. Dapat daw ang cost of investment is 260,000. Pero para maging 0 ang net present value mo, dapat ang present value of cash inflow mo is 260,000 din. Tama ba yan? Yan yung pinag-usapan lang natin kanina, di ba? So, paano yun? Kailangan nating mag-generate ng present value factor. Alamin natin ano yung present value factor that will give us 260,000. Okay? So, paano yun? So, sabi dito, paano yung pag-compute ng present value factor? So, it's investment over the net cash inflow, which is 3.25. Ngayon, pupunta ako dun sa table. Saan ko makikita yung 3.25? Anong table din yung gagamitin ko? Siyempre, dun ako sa present value of an annuity kasi cumulative, no? Magkano nga yun? 3.25. Nasaan ang 3.25? Lalakihan ka to baka hindi nakikita. 3.25. Ito, 3.27. Yung nasa 16. Yung isa naman, 18. 3.127. So therefore, we can conclude that the IRR is between 16 and 18%. Plus na nakakasunod ba?
Aba.
Yes po. Okay, sige. Okay, sige. Ito kasi, ang cash flow natin is uniform, no? Ngayon, kuha tayo ng another example, hindi naman uniform. Ibig sabihin, yung expected cash inflow varies each year. Ito. Kunin ko lang to para diretso tayo sa problem. No? Sige. Compute muna natin magkano yung net present value. So, right. In this case, sabi, Wheeler Company wants to buy a numerically controlled machine to be used in producing components for manufacturers of trenching machines. The outlay required is 100,000. So the NC equipment will last 5 years with no expected salvage value. the expected after-tax net cash inflows associated with the project follow. So meron ka first year, second year, and so on and so forth. No? So ngayon, ano yung mga napansin nyo? Dito, una, hindi binigay yung discount rate. 'Di ba? So paano natin ma-identify yung rate kung hindi provided yung discount rate, no? So sabi natin, time-adjusted rate of return, balikan ko yung time-adjusted rate of return is equivalent or similar with internal rate of return and discounted cash flow rate of return. Ano nga sabi natin pag internal rate of return? 'Di ba sabi natin, present value of cash inflow is equivalent to the cost of investment. Therefore, the net present value is zero. So in this case, in this type of problem, ang kailangan lang natin is trial and error. So paano yun? Paano trial and error? Mag-assume tayo, iisip tayo ng factor or ng discount rate that will give us zero as net present value. O nakakasunod pa, huwag malilito. Kasi sabi natin, using IRR, ang present value of cash inflow is equal to the cost of investment. So therefore, net present value is zero. So in this case, kailangan natin mag-trial and error. Una kong ginamit is 16%. No? 16%, kinuha ko lang yung present value factor. Anong gagamitin ko dahil hindi uniform yung cash flow? Present value of 1. So punta ako sa present value of 1, 16, so 0.862, 743, 641, and yun na, so on and so forth, no? Tapos sabi na wala namang salvage value. So, kinalculate natin yun, meron tayong nakuwang 3,430 as net present value. Question, tama na ba na 16%? Ang sagot, hindi. Kasi 'di ba, sabi natin in IRR, net present value is equal to 0. So ibig sabihin kailangan pa natin ng iba pang rate. So next kong tinry is 18%. So in this case, kinuha ko naman ulit yung net present value of 1, present value of 1 at 18%. So meron ka 0.847, 718, 609, 516, and 437. Pero in this case, net present value is minus 730. So therefore, we can conclude that the IRR is between 16 and 18%. Nakasunod ba, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, ang napansin niyo lang dito, no? Nagkaroon lang tayo ng trial and error kasi hindi provided yung discounted rate, no? Hindi provided to yung cost of capital, yung discounted rate of capital, no? Pero alam kasi natin ng time-adjusted rate of return is equivalent to your IRR. Na ang alam natin na using IRR, your net present value is equivalent to 0. So kaya nag-assume tayo, no? Tapos kung napansin nyo, while the discount rate increases, yung mga factor, anong nangyari? Nag-decrease, no? So, kung at 16% meron ka pang 3,430 na net present value, ang ginawa natin is we look for a much higher rate. So, in this case, 18%, no? Which provided us naman a negative 730. So, therefore, we can conclude that the IRR, the internal rate of return, is between 16 and 18%. Okay, so that's IRR. Ngayon, kung wala ng questions sa IRR, punta na tayo dito sa payback reciprocal. Ito, mas kabisado niyo na to dahil ilang beses natin itong tinake up last time, no? Yung, paano ba yung pag-calculate ng payback period? Payback period is your investment over the net cash inflow, no? So that's payback period. So ang payback reciprocal is simply 1 over the payback period. Naalala mo, di ba? Yung payback period, that's the length of time to which you can get back what you have invested, no? So, kasi kanina, kina-calculate natin yung IRR, no? Sabi, payback reciprocal is a good approximation of the IRR. So, paano yung class? Imbes na mag-assume pa tayo ng rates, gaya ng ginawa natin earlier, meron palang another method which is payback reciprocal, which is a good approximation of the IRR only if cash inflows are uniform. So that's 1. And the economic life of the project is at least 2 times the payback period. So class, pwede lang natin gamitin ang payback reciprocal in lieu or in replacement of the IRR if the cash inflows are uniform and the economic life of the project is at least 2 times the payback period. Sige. Para mas maintindihan, let's try this problem. No? Not sure kung meron pa rin ako. Okay, meron pa rin. Oops, wala na. Wala na nga ako. Pero sige, isa-isay natin. So, first, let's calculate the payback period. Payback period is 800,000, yung cost of the investment, over 150,000 net cash inflow. So you'll get 5.333 as your payback period. 1 over 5.333, so that's 18.76%. So that's your payback reciprocal. I-test natin, no? Is the cash inflow uniform? Yes, sabi nga dito, 150,000 per year, no? For 20 years. Anong next? Economic life of the project is at least 2 times the payback period. So 5.333 times 2, ilan yun? So 10.666. Ang estimated life nga natin is 20. Okay? So that's payback reciprocal. And finally, discounted payback. Ito naman, class, ang kaibahan lang nito is this time, nilagyan na natin ng present value factor. No? So a new machine costing 600,000 with 3 years useful life, no salvage value at the end of 3 years, is expected to bring in the following cash inflows after tax. Required. If the company's cost of capital is 10%, what is the discounted payback period? O, sige. Remember, ang payback period natin pag compute is investment over cash inflow, no? Now, nilagyan lang ng word na discounted payback, pero ang alam mo naman pag merong nakalagay na discounted, meaning you need to calculate the present value factor, no? So in this case, ano yung mga ginamit na present value factor? Tingin nyo, class. Is it present value of 1 or present value of annuity of 1? Of an annuity?
Present value of 1.
Correct. Kasi hindi uniform, no? Sino yung palagi sumasagot sa akin? Romer ba yun?
Hermoso po.
Hermoso.
Si Romer po kanina.
Okay, sige. Thank you. So in this case, you have your net cash inflow year 1, 310, 300, and 250. So sabi, 10% cost of capital or discounted rate. So multiply mo lang yon to get your cash inflow. I think meron akong calculation yan. Yep. So 281, 790, 529, 590. This is the running total. Kasi nga kina-calculate natin yung present value. So, and plus this one. 529,590. And then pagdating ng year 3, it's 717,340. Pero magkano ba yung cost of investment mo? Anong cost of investment? Hindi 100,000, it's 600,000. Kasi iba na to. $600,000. So therefore, 600,000 less 529,590 over 187,750. Kinukuha lang natin yung prorata, no? Kasi by year 3, yung 717, it's I mean higher than the total cost, no? So kinukuha lang natin yung prorata. So that's 2 years. So 1 year and then 2 years and 38 years, no? So 2.38. So that's 600,000. Kung hindi pa na gets kung paano na-arrive dito, ito lang naman yung prorated, no? Kasi pagdating ng year 3, hindi na kailangan yung buong 700, hindi na kailangan yung buong 187,000 to complete the 600,000. Sige, illustrate natin para mas madaling intindihin. So pagdating ng year 3, magkano lang ang kulang natin to recover, 'di ba? 600,000 yung total investment. Pero nakaka 529,000 ka na at year 2, no? So oops, mali yata ang 600,000 yan. So meron ka lang kailangang i-recover na 70,410. So sa 70,410, magkano niyan yung para sa year 3? So 710 over 187. So that's 0.38. So that's 2.38. Okay? So, well, that ends our discussion on capital budgeting.
This has been your instructor, Mark Gibson. Thank you for learning with us. See you in our next discussion. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya!